A Lewiston girl is now safe after her disappearance sparked a multi-state Amber Alert. Yesterday, the 15-year-old girl was found with a convicted sex offender. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 11. I'm Whitney Ward. So Bowles appeared before a judge this afternoon, and new court documents are revealing some disturbing details about the case police are now building against him. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk was in the courtroom. He is joining us now live with more. Hi, Kyle.
Well, Whitney, court documents show while he was on the run, Bowles texted the girl's mom and threatened to kill the teen unless the family sent him money. The 36-year-old has an extensive criminal history and was released from prison several years ago.
The multi-state manhunt for Jonathan Bowles came to an abrupt end in Spokane Valley last night. However, court documents reveal his relationship with a 15-year-old girl started last March over Snapchat. According to court documents, Bowles picked up the girl at high school during her lunch break several times in the past and told her he wanted to marry her and was willing to wait until she was 18. Court documents show Bowles picked up the girl near a church last Friday and the two headed out of town. The girl told police Bowles ditched his car once police started looking for him, and the two walked 30 miles through farmland until they got to Starbuck, Washington. There, police say Bowles asked a man for a ride to Pomeroy so he could turn himself in. But when they got there, Bowles and the victim stole a woman's car and headed for Spokane. An Amber Alert went out Monday, and while the teen was still missing, court documents show Bowles texted her mom and threatened to kill her, saying in part, quote, "I am not releasing her until I have a ransom of $7,000. I am sure you know what to do if you don't want to make today horrible for you by killing her." Last night, a person in Spokane Valley called 911 after seeing the car listed in the Amber Alert. Spokane Valley deputies arrested Bowles. Today, before setting his bond at $1 million, a victim's advocate read a statement from the girl's mom.
In my opinion, there is not a number that is high enough to set a bond to release this man.
Bowles is a registered sex offender and was convicted of child molestation and indecent liberties in 2006. According to the Washington Department of Corrections, he served nearly 6 years in prison for those charges. Once he was released in late 2012, he was on probation until January 2016. The sex offender registry shows he was violating his release conditions because he moved without notifying law enforcement.
And the 15-year-old was reunited with family last night. The victim told police she thought Bowles was 24. The 36-year-old has warrants out of Garfield County for child molestation. He'll have to face a judge in Idaho and will likely be charged with kidnapping and child rape. Whitney.
All right, Kyle, thank you very much. Also, the jury started deliberations in a murder trial for a former Pasco police officer. Richard Aguirre is charged with first-degree murder for the death of a 27-year-old Spokane woman back in 1986. This morning was the last chance for attorneys on both sides to try and sway the jury. The state argues Ruby Doss was in the fight of her life when she died and that she did so at the hands of Aguirre. The defense says that DNA proves he is not the killer.
You can't be in a fight without leaving DNA on somebody. So, they're desperately looking. Purple leg warmers, red leg warmers, blue socks, white socks, underpants where there was DNA found, not Mr. Aguirre's.
Was she already dead when he left her? Or was she in the process of dying? Whichever is the case, it's the actions of this man that ended her life.
The prosecutor maintains Aguirre acted with intent and murdered Doss, then tried to cover up evidence at the scene. The jury will get back to its deliberations tomorrow. New tonight, the Spokane Police Department has launched a new social media program to try and fight package thieves. It's called Theft Investigations Help Us Identify. It's now part of the SPD Facebook page, and it works by having victims post pictures of suspects, maybe from a doorbell camera or a cell phone. Then people in the community can try and help identify that suspect. If you have any information that could help in these types of investigations, you're asked to call or email SPD. You can also find a direct link to that Facebook page on our website. Just go to krem.com. Also new tonight, a norovirus outbreak at Spokane's House of Charity has now temporarily closed the shelter to new clients. This is video from back in 2016 during a similar outbreak. A spokesperson for the charity tonight says they will be following Spokane Regional Health District recommendations and monitoring the rate of new infections. They will only reopen for new intakes once 48 hours have passed without any new infections. All right, talking weather now, kind of a nice break from the winter weather today. Blue skies and sunshine, but changes are starting tomorrow. Meteorologist Michelle Boss is joining us now as temperatures are actually already starting to take a dip. Michelle, it's really cold out there.
Yeah, and we were in the lower 40s today. We keep saying, oh, eventually it's going to get cold. Eventually it's going to get cold. We had the snow earlier this week, but then temperatures kind of bumped back up, and obviously all the snow is pretty much melted away in Spokane. We had some windy conditions today as well. Those winds aren't as bad right now, and it shouldn't be as windy tomorrow. Gusts today were over 40 miles per hour. Currently seeing a sustained wind in Spokane, one of the windier spots right now across the region. Sustained wind at about 13 miles per hour. Current temperatures are in the upper 20s right now, but 20 in Deer Park, so pretty chilly out there, and below freezing out in central Washington and below freezing down across the Palouse as well. Satellite and radar, though, showing pretty quiet conditions across eastern Washington and North Idaho, but still seeing some continuing snow showers in the Cascades, so expect snowy conditions at Snoqualmie Pass tomorrow, but Stevens Pass also still under a winter storm warning until tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Heavy snow will continue there, another 5 to 10 inches possible overnight through tomorrow morning. Here locally, no snow showers tonight. Could see a few snow showers tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures are only going to be in the mid-30s. No accumulations expected here. A dry day on Friday, but potentially messy weather with wind, rain, and snow for Saturday.
All right, thanks very much. A group of divers took to the waters of Lake Coeur d'Alene today despite the cold temperatures. The Kootenai County Sheriff's Office and a local scuba company were cleaning trash from the bottom of the lake. Our Ian Smay was there at the lake for the cleanup. He has more on what crews actually pulled out of the water today.
Crews started at about 11 this morning and wrapped up at around 3 in the afternoon. Divers from the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office joined members of the public who were diving with Jake's Scuba Adventures. The goal was to make the lake cleaner for both the public and for wildlife, and crews were able to pull out quite a bit of garbage. It was a cold, windy day on Lake Coeur d'Alene.
We good? I think so, sir.
But that didn't stop divers from the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office and Jake's Scuba Adventures. They took to the lake for about 4 hours to help take out trash from the water. The Sheriff's Office does yearly cleanups, and they get quite a bit of trash.
It's a guess. In previous years, when the dive team's done it just for a few hours, we've pulled up about 500 pounds. The goal today was about 1,000, so we'll see. We are weighing every piece of trash that we pull up.
Miller said this is the third time this year Jake's has done a cleanup in partnership with Project Aware. The crews entered the water from the boat launch next to the Coeur d'Alene Resort. The focus for this cleanup is the area of the lake near the boat dock next to Tubbs Hill. Even after just the first shift, divers were finding a lot of trash.
Just a tiny little section. We all went through one tank of air so far, and there was so much garbage down there. It's disheartening, to say the least. So we're really trying to clean that stuff up because, it's important to us, our families that recreate out here, and that like to enjoy the water.
The types of debris the divers were finding covered a wide range and weren't all put in the lake by accident.
We've pulled out tires, a lot of beer cans and beer bottles, and signs, old traffic signs that we're tossing here. A large amount of tires. That's one of the biggest things we're seeing.
The crews aren't going to be able to get every piece of garbage in the lake. With Tubbs Hill being a popular recreational area in the hot summer months, Miller hopes the public can help keep the lake clean.
I think it's a common courtesy, and there's signs everywhere that say pack it in, pack it out. It's also illegal. Littering is illegal. It is a misdemeanor in most cases. In some cases it's an infraction, but the pack it in, pack it out is going to be the biggest thing for that.
For now, reporting from Lake Coeur d'Alene, Ian Smay, KREM 2 News.
We also have an update now from Scraps about its recent closure. The shelter had to close temporarily after 2 dogs died from a contagious disease outbreak. Today, Scraps told us all of the tests on dogs since the outbreak have come back negative. They've been able to take in some strays in a separate area of the shelter. STARS is actually a private organization that is currently helping with strays. The bacteria is called Strep Zoo, and it can only be transferred from dog to dog. Scraps gave every dog at the shelter antibiotics, and they're now in the process of calling guardians of other dogs that had recently left the shelter. Pfizer says its COVID-19 booster shot does provide protection against the Omicron variant. Internal data found it increases protection 25-fold against the latest strain compared to at least the initial 2 doses. Omicron cases, first detected in South Africa, have now been reported in at least 20 states. Scientists say initial data suggests the Omicron variant is less severe than Delta. Delta, though, still driving a surge of infections and hospitalizations across the country, and it's not slowing down.
Unless we really double down on what we're doing, we could see an increased spike that goes even higher than that as we get deeper into December and January.
Pfizer says it does plan to work on an Omicron-specific vaccine, which could be available by March if needed. And if you've received your doses in the spring, you do now qualify to get a booster shot. To find an appointment near you, you can use the state's vaccine locator tool and search by zip code. For that link, you can just text the word booster to 509-448-2000. We'll send it right to your phone. Well, it is no surprise that the housing market in Spokane is growing. Tonight, why realtors say it is actually one of the top 5 markets in the country.